We made it. We made it. I'm back. I can see all of you. Nice deep breath in, nice big exhale. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to today. Welcome to this moment. Whether you're finding us on actually Tuesday or some other point in time, it is a good day. And this is a lot that we are tapping into today. So let's get ready to do it. Just want to say, just saying, woke up, if I can post the picture to the thumbnail, I will. Woke up with a picture, I'm sorry, not a picture, driving away from my home. And sure enough, it was sunny out and there was a rainbow right over my house as I looked down the street back at my house. So we are in some super duper duper big frequency and codes, very much presenced and held by the angelic field, by the Metatron, by all of the different dimensional realms. That is where we are kicking off from today. So let's do it. We are on Metatron Code 5. The title for Metatron here, to jog everyone's memory, is that of the Sacred Scribe. Think about that, the Sacred Scribe, writing into the Akashic, writing into what is, what has been, all of it. Like it's because again, in the Metatronic realm, there is no future or past, there's timelessness. And to know what's written into existence and creation, that was what Metatron was up to. And so what we're leveraging in this aspect, in this code, is our beliefs, right? We're working with beliefs as we work with this particular Metatron code, the Sacred Scribe. And so in a moment, I'm going to talk to you about the actual code. We're going to follow our similar format. I'm going to jam for about 5-10 minutes, try and get it all in. I have all these notes on it. And then we're going to drop into, actually, I invite you to just be closing your eyes and starting to allow yourself to drop into the frequency as we go. Then I'm going to share the code with you and we'll drop into the actual energy itself. But again, we are super duper blessed today with the, again, rainbow over the house as we are beginning. So let's talk about beliefs as it relates to the Metatronic perspective for a moment, because we're solving for essentially what this code is about is getting us to solve for the right problem, right? Like we began with anxiety. We talked about choosing yourself in the second code, and getting rid of the disillusion, right? Like there's so much disillusionment. There's so much false information out there. Then in the third code, we talked about the traumas, right? And how traumas are, the opposite is always true when it comes to those particular traumas. How do we get into the core frequency? And then, last week, our fourth code was all about bringing frequency into form, that frequency is actually where the truth is held. And so frequency is brilliant, right? It does us all kinds of things. But if we are programmed, it's in this code. The reason why this code is so powerful is because it's actually where we make the transition into the body. We are seeking to, in this code, merge our mind with that of the Metatronic mind. And what do I mean by that? If we are continually dancing between being this spiritual being here serving a purpose, pulling in our divine creation force, doing all of the do, then as we've talked about, that human self also has mindset and perspective and everything else. And so in the process of all of these different elements, sorry, people are coming in. I want to be sure we capture everyone. In the process of digesting and being present to all of that, we have to ask ourselves, what is impacting the beliefs? And there's so many different layers to it. Ultimately, the matrix of our body is where we really get caught up, right? So we bring in the frequency, but the frequency that we start to tune into is only as good as the filters that it runs through, right? It's only as good as the level we are open to understanding what that frequency has to offer. So I'm going to give you like a solid, hopefully a solid metaphor. Like if you're bringing in and you have, think of like the different levels of our iPhones and the quality of pictures that have been able to be captured over time. Now you have the most advanced, you can get really high def, really in tune. But that really high quality, if you were to open that on your other phone, like on say a version, I don't know, 4, even 6, anything before what we have now, it's going to look as good, if not, it's not necessarily going to be grainy, but the phone itself just doesn't have the power to process and show you the level of depth and detail that is there. So from our human perspective, we only get so much. Our human mind is conditioned to process all of this information based on what our experience has been. How have our bodies been programmed? What is the quality of programming within our bodies, right? I think of it as like a thought or a desire comes in through our root, comes up through the earth. We feel those poles drawing us into some kind of a passion, and it comes in through the root. We have 10 trillion bits of information per millisecond processing there. But between there and when we get up here, where we have like 6 bytes per second, I don't even know how those translate, like way slower compared to like infinitely fast, right? So in our Metatronic mind, we can start processing at that greater capacity. We can see the minutia and the detail and everything that's there. The Metatronic mind also latches on to the future vision. It is able to, if we start giving our body the energy of future vision of what we're creating, what that frequency is, and then start drawing it through those filters and reprogramming those filters to match the type of energy that we're starting to interpret up here in the mind, we're set, right? Because now the filters have been brought up to speed and brought online. I think one of the biggest things where we like get really challenged around all of this is that the mind is not like a fixed thing. It is a massive neural network. And spirit, Metatron itself, is not an archangel. That's just the consciousness in one body, right? Brought into form so that the human in us can interpret it. But the true Metatron is this vast neural network of consciousness that is, I'm going to say, programmed at the highest level of creation and divinity. So if we can start to get and think about your body, the subconscious is what, 93%, maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more of running the overall energy that's flowing. It's constantly, those ideas are coming up and through, ping ponging off of the heart, the organs, where all of the different emotional centers are stored, so that by the time it gets here, we're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this, right? If we can bring those frequencies and recognize it, what we're trying to source in is also ping ponging through our neural network within our own body. Upgrade those frequencies within the body so that this can start to run, so that all start to run on the same circuit. We're set. We are absolutely set. So one last piece I want to speak to on this is that like we're talking about this in the form of the consciousness that each of us as individuals are holding. Where the challenge comes in, again, as like the bigger problems that we are facing, especially in these transitional times, is that the consciousness is shifting as well. We are learning to shift into a Metatronic consciousness, into a consciousness that is of a higher form. And so what I'm going to propose the problem is in this is not that we have limiting beliefs. It's that our focus is guided into the wrong spot. Our beliefs become limiting because we only see and perceive ourselves from the human perspective. But if we can start to recognize that, no, we are these vast spiritual beings with this capability of sinking in to the neural network of creation, that changes how we look at the problems we're trying to solve, right? We start solving for service. We start solving for expansion and growth and integration. We start solving for how can we bring frequency into form? How can we upgrade these codes within us? And then collectively start to upgrade the codes within the consciousness in the world around us, right? The consciousness is shifting. I read or heard a talk the other day on collective consciousness, and it essentially takes three major shifts for consciousness as a whole to begin to like really sink in at the level of the collective for humanity. And those three shifts, or it can be three major events, or it can be three groups that start to adapt a new way of thinking, a new way of understanding that then allows for the consciousness to blossom and to bloom. And so you as Metatron individuals get to be part of this. We get to start writing the story from the perspective of the sacred scribe, from this perspective of the creator. So there's so much more to dive into around the collective consciousness, but I feel like we need to drop in. And if we need to do another one that's primarily focused on collective, then we'll do that then. What I want to have you do is deeply, deeply breathe in while closing your eyes. Nice big inhale. I'm going to read the code. Let yourself settle into the sounds of this code. Let yourself feel the frequency rising through your different filters, rising through your body. This is a brilliant, brilliant opportunity because we are merging the two consciousness together in this code. Think like the creator. Set your mind free. Let it roam through dimensional reality. The word written, future vision seen, living consciousness encoded in belief. Go ahead, take a nice deep breath in and exhale out. Choosing the metas, frequency reveals the mind of the divine through you made real. I think that's like the key in this code, the mind of the divine through you made real. Think like the creator. Let yourself see the pure potential encoded in frequency. Merge your mind. You have the right. Empower your field with divine light. Merging consciousness, the intentions seed implanted into reality. For I am you and you are me, the mind of God, set free. This code is a little bit longer than the others. Nice deep breath in, and I want to have you just begin to sync your light link, feeling that golden light of the sun shining down, just to open the field, let yourself settle in. Then feeling the earth beneath your feet, go ahead and feel it in physical form today. We're in the body of the mind. It's a very airy space. If you're feeling any density, just breathe in. Actually, as you're focusing on both the feeling of the earth beneath you and the sun shining down, imagine opening the belly through the breath. And as the belly opens, it's not breath drawing in, but actual energy of the earth drawing up through the belly's expansion, right? It's like we're opening the gateway through the belly, drawing all that energy of the earth in through drawing the breath. See if you can't fill your lungs with that luminescent rainbow frequency of the earth. Breathing in. Nice deep exhale as you feel the sun beginning to drift down, and let's shift from light link into a star link, letting the sun begin to melt into your mind until you feel that diamond ray, that brilliant, bright white light, as though the sun at its very, very core has melted into the center of your mind. Activating that star link, feeling that Metatronic consciousness coming online. I'm feeling that rainbow as it does, shining down from the heavens as though you are the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, this brilliant, bright, white light. Let's go ahead and cycle a couple of breaths here. I mentioned our problem today that we're solving, or the challenge we're working with this code is we're solving the wrong problems. We're not quite looking in the right space. We get caught up on the daily, and it's real. I get it. The struggle is real. Finances, health, relationship, you name it, all for the human realm. I want you to feel into the consciousness that feeds that struggle. Everything from media blasting at you, multiple pharma commercials. Feel into that energy. Let yourself just scan the body from the Metatronic mind, trusting whatever comes through. It may feel dense, it may feel heavy. It may feel like you tune into parts of your body that you don't love or could come into better relationship with. I want you next to feel into the consciousness of the foods that we have access to, the foods that line our grocery shelves, whether you choose them daily or not. The battle it is, like, we don't walk, every market you walk into is not full of natural and raw and close to source with lots of sunshine loaded into it. And even if it does have lots of sunshine and it's only one evolution away versus being highly refined and turned into chemicals and products, it still potentially in its growth had chemicals used to keep bugs away, pesticides, you name it. So again, I want you to feel into not only the food that you consume, both healthy and unhealthy, but that our entire matrix is fed by. I want you to feel into that. The ways you choose those foods, the sugars, you name it. We all know it. If you're in this space, you know it, and you're probably making some pretty good choices. But I want you to feel into the mindset of those that are still captured by it, right? That are still entrenched in it, because it's expensive to eat. So maybe it's budget, maybe it's access, maybe it's just they don't know. Never mind the fluorides. All of these things keep us, from a belief perspective, complacent. There's a certain level of complacency that gets created. So feeling into, that's where I want you to focus in. Where is complacency in your life? Where does it exist in this matrix? Because you've been worn down, because the struggle is real, all of these different elements. I promise we're going somewhere with this, but it's important that we identify the energies of the matrix, right? Because our mind has merged. Despite our best efforts, if you are living in Western society, your mind in some way, shape, and form has merged with the consciousness of our matrix. If you are driving a car, if you are jumping on your phone, you have merged with the consciousness of the matrix. So let's identify those, that one next, the phone. Not just the media that comes across it, but the electromagnetic frequencies that come off of it, the EMFs, the cell towers. I want you to shift into that now. It's not that any of these are wrong. It's just the awareness of where and how the frequency is being held for us. Think about numbers that you drive past every day, from speed limits to specific times in the day that you know things happen. all controlling frequency. Numbers represent frequency. When I'm speaking to the living consciousness, this is what we get to look at and recognize as an inherent part of where we are. And it's so important because I was speaking about the filters within our body. And as we try to make these monumental shifts, we feel the call. We're answering the call to hold the light. Yet we have to recognize what the dimension that we're currently existing in is that is feeding the frequencies into our mind. We can't extract ourselves from it. It's important to embrace it and yet not become complacent in it. So, are we ready? It is time to shift out of the matrix now. And again, the matrix, what makes this particular one, we practiced in the fourth code, creating the dimensional coherence, right? Bringing frequency not only into form, but into resonance within and through our body. So I'm going to read the code again to bring us back up because it is coded in frequency. And this is the frequency that we are capturing. If you're much more visual, I invite you to begin to feel into the matrix of the neural network of the Metatron as we make this shift now. Feeling the matrix of your mind as it's illuminated like a light bulb just went off on the inside of it in that diamond ray. And notice if it feels mucky or foggy or dirty or congested anywhere in your brain. Let's go ahead and do a brain flush. Just imagining that golden light or that diamond ray that's burning inside, doing a blast of liquid energy out and just clearing the pipes, clearing out the congestion of the matrix that is created. The matrix brings us into, if you think of like congestion in your sinuses, right? Like it's just goopy. Everyone's running it. It's the hamster wheel, right? So go ahead and just give yourself a little blast of brilliant diamond ray energy through the mind. Or you may like envisioning honey melting through the mind, cleansing it out like a sponge. As we squeeze out the sponge, let's use that to track with. Imagining dipping the sponge in water and then squeezing it out, dipping it in water and squeezing it out until that water that is running out is not only golden and honey, but is actually, as you dip into the luminescent water, that sponge comes out and it's running rainbow frequency, golds and rainbows. Beautiful. We're almost there. Keep doing that. Thinking like the creator. Set your mind free. Let it roam through dimensional reality. Coming into your mind now and feeling into the dimensionality of your mind. Now that we've done this cleansing, does it feel like a bunch of little rainbows and diamonds and sparkles of light are flashing up there? Nice deep breath in. And I want to have you call on our flame for this code, the azure, the cosmic ray, a brilliant flash of blue energy starting to take hold, much like the blue edge of a white hot flame starting to burn in your mind, starting to burn through that pineal gland. I want to have you envision the pineal gland now, like the pine cone that it is, being placed onto this white hot flame with blue, burning so bright that it's got that blue tinge to the edge of it. And let that pine cone burn down to ash. And as it does, a beautiful gem, a diamond, revealed. The diamonds hold the codes of dimensional reality, of pure creation source. I want to have you feel your heart flame now shining up through that diamond that has emerged in the mind's eye. We're now thinking like the creator. right? Think like the creator. Creator thinks from pure frequency perspective. And then how can we bring it into creation? Let yourself drift here for a moment. Future vision seen and living consciousness. What are your desires? What are your dreams? Let them flash across the screen of your mind. Maybe it's a sensation, maybe it's a feeling. Feeling them start to echo through as though we're projecting onto the inner skull of your mind. That's like the screen as the heart flame shines through this diamond out into the mind. And we begin to hear and see across our mind's eye through the dome of our mind colors. Let colors flash before you. Let your body come into stillness, trusting everything that passes through. Now start to tune in for sounds. Listening for sound. We're in a very airy field, very etheric field. So you may begin to focus in on the sounds of angels singing. High choral sounds. Harps, music. From the back of your mind to the front, beginning to echo from being in the distance to closer and closer. A word coming across and through this diamond ray, tuning the mind to these frequencies. A word presenting itself, embodying itself as belief that you are the writer of the story. You are here to write the consciousness. Whatever moves through your heart in light pegs the consciousness, encoding it into belief. As you choose the metas, their different frequencies reveal the mind of the divine through you made real. I invite you now to envision a piece of paper before you, sacred scroll, maybe a rainbow pen, a golden pen. Scribble, scrabbling. You may not see words and language you know. In fact, you are writing an angelic form. Word written, future vision seen, living consciousness encoded in belief. As you think like the creator, let yourself see pure potential encoded in frequency. So imagining continuing to write on this scroll, on this paper, golden words, these rainbow words, pure potential, future vision seen. And now we get to imagine burning through these, allowing your mind to merge with this frequency. You have the right to choose it. You have the right to empower your field. Go ahead, envisioning setting this scroll, much like we did the pine cone, on fire in that diamond ray flame. Powering the ashes of these scrolls to filter through like snowflakes, raining down in perfect order, in perfect form, unique, each snowflake unique unto itself. Imagining these ashes of these scrolls landing throughout your body like the perfect snowflakes. Consciousness merged. And as these snowflakes land throughout your body, the Creator's intention, its seed, through that diamond ray, through these snowflakes, implanted into the reality of your body, physical, bringing the frequency into form. Go ahead and feel into your mind lightning bolts, little sparks of energy. So we're able to see the neurosynapses inside of your mind firing off. The mind's merging. For you am I, for I am you, and you are me. The mind of God set free. And through you, from this perspective now, feeling into the matrix feels different. In the frequencies from your phone, feeling independent, totally different frequency. Feeling into the chemicals through the foods and the environment that suppress, keeping us complacent. Seems like we could just burn through these as well with this frequency. Breathing all the way in. Feeling your frequency in the midst of the physical reality. Feeling that neural network of your mind now syncing up with the mind of God. Multiple diamond rays of light encircling you, surrounding you. Feeling your mind plugging in. A neural network of creation, force, energy. Not only does your mind have these synapses firing off, but feel and see the synapses firing off out into the consciousness, into the mind of God. And as you do, notice how when you tune into your feet, the vaster, the broader you go, tuning in to that neural network above, the more you feel your roots sinking deeper into the earth. Nice deep breath in. Feeling yourself now as that rainbow shining down. Observing your world through the geometries. We're thinking like the Creator. We're thinking geometries. We're thinking pure source. We're thinking frequency. And we're thinking all things human as well. For all of it is creation. Empower your human. Empower your potential. Think like the Creator and set your mind free. Let it roam through dimensional reality and all the potential options that are out there, rooting you into a greater faith and hope and purpose. You don't have to know your future vision or what it is here and now. Just embrace that it is right here. And the more you draw it in and let it lock into your cells, that consciousness becomes encoded in your beliefs. Breathing in and out. Beautiful. All right, making our way slowly back into the room and to the moment. into your body, feeling your mind melted. Let's go ahead and do a reboot. Nice deep breath in, breathing all the information all the way in, holding it at the top, exhaling out the old, already processed, already utilized programs and information. Next breath, nice deep breath in, holding at the top, exhaling out the old, already processed, utilized information, and holding at the bottom now. Once this breath is extinguished, and this time breathing in, rebooting the system, like hitting refresh on the page of your browser, breathing in, refreshing the page, and letting that Metatronic field and frequency load through your body, letting your diamond ray take over. Beautiful. And with that, we are set for the day. Namaste. So much love. I will see you all tomorrow.